And now you will listen to an abbreviated version of the story, The Butter Battle Book by Dr. Seuss, published by Random House. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, "As you know, on this side of the wall, we are Yooks. On the far other side of this wall live the Zooks." Then my grandfather said, "It's high time that you knew of the terribly horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down." But we Yooks, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread, Grandpa said, with the butter side up. "That's the right, honest way," Grandpa gritted his teeth. "So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching the Zooks for the Zook Watching Border Patrol. And when Grandpa was younger, he served on the Border Patrol between the Yooks and the Zooks. If any Zooks came too close to the wall, he would switch them with a switch." One day, while Grandpa was on Border Patrol, a Zook from the other side of the wall shot his switch with a slingshot and severed it in half. Grandfather headed back to the Border Patrol headquarters and showed them his broken switch. His headquarters sent him back to the wall with a stronger form of weaponry. This form of weaponry was a giant slingshot, much larger than the small slingshot the Zook used on the other side of the wall. The next day, the Zook from the other side of the wall came back. He was made Border Patrol on his side of the wall and was given an equally large slingshot. That grandfather decided to go back to his headquarters and see if they could make an even bigger slingshot. And his headquarters created a very large cannon that could outpower a slingshot, no problem. By the time Grandpa returned to the wall, the Zook on the other side of the wall had already created an even bigger cannon. And so Grandpa returned yet again to the headquarters to see if they could create something even more powerful. And they sure created something more powerful. It was a flying machine that sprinkled globs of goo all over the opposing side. Grandpa was thrilled to return to the wall until he got there and realized that the other side of the wall, the Zooks had created the same exact goo glob glopper. And so Grandpa returned one last time to the headquarters to see if they created something even more powerful. And they did. They created something even more powerful. The Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. Because the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo was so powerful, all of the Yooks on Grandpa's side of the wall had to go underground for protection. And now Grandpa is not a young man anymore. He is Grandpa. And he has his grandson with him. And he goes to the wall with his Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo and stands upon the wall. Waiting for him there is the Zook from the other side of the wall. He has his own Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. And the two of them look at each other, waiting for the other one to drop the Big Boy Boomeroo. The grandfather's grandson says, "Grandpa," I shouted, "be careful, oh gee. Who's going to drop it? Will you or will he?" "Be patient," said Grandpa. "We'll see. We will see." And our story ends here with the Yook and the Zook both holding their Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroos.